Yeah, so God knows how to humble people, and He knows how to get those sins out. And actually, we have to confess. Confession is the humbling part, okay, and repenting. He has to get us into His submission. He needs us to obey. And when we do this confession and repentance, then we're in total obedience to Him, where He can forgive us. Now, to forgive us, He has to actually change the genes responsible for powering those sins in us. And my sin of lust, He had to go right to that point in each cell. How He does that, but He can, and He stops the power, like it's a switch. I don't know. Does He tear it out? I don't know. Change the codes? Probably. But whatever He does, He turns that power completely off. Just like my first problem was alcoholism. That was over 30 years ago now. He came to me and He removed that power of desire to drink. I didn't have any more desire to drink after that. It was incredible. People around me were having all kinds of problems. People in this hospital. I knew all kinds of alcoholics that went back out drinking. But I just didn't have any problem. Just like that. And I couldn't stop. I thought I was going to die from drinking. So you can see how He handles those sins. And so Peter, he worked on, I don't know how long he worked on Peter. Maybe it was just days. I don't know. To get him to confess and repent. Could have been years. But whatever he did, He got them all. There wasn't one sin left that could deceive Peter's mind. Those thoughts, I should say. Okay? So Peter was purified. And then the veil was dropped. He could see who he was. You just know, it's just an understanding. You don't see, you just know. You know things. Knowledge. You bear your conscience. You finally, you have it there. All of it. Without no deception. You know who you are in God. And you are God. Because God created Himself with the voice. That's what He did, basically. Because we got all His thoughts. And then everything else was created from us. So, but I'm just in the flesh. So I mean, that's not, those things are really not that important to know. But it helps you guys to understand this flesh is separate. It's separated from God and the creation. That's important to know for you people. Because what it does, it'll help you when we die. You know that you're going to be in God and you're going to be okay. You're not going to hell. How can you go to hell when you're in God? You can't. It's impossible. It's the flesh that's going to die. And when we go to, you call it hell, the hot lava is going to, melt the Earth's crust so that everything's going to melt into it. But that's not going to be a long-term pain. We're going to be dead long before that hot lava buries us. Most of us are dead anyway. I figured about 100 billion people that lived during this time. So, 90-some billion people have already died. They're already back to powder, dust, the atoms, they're all spread everywhere. So what if a few million people die in the end? It's just flesh. That's all it is. So Peter would have known that back then. And he wrote a little bit about it. Some of the writing. Now, Peter probably wrote a whole bunch. But this is another, I can get into that again later about about what happened to these scriptures, you know. But Peter and the disciples, the first disciples, never wrote for a New Testament to be made. That was not to happen. But since it happened, it worked out for me. You see? Because there was a break from the time all the saints were killed in the 4th century to me, 1600 years. Now, if that Bible wouldn't have been made, the New Testament wouldn't have been made, or the Old Testament, and it followed this whole Catholic Protestant church, I would have never gotten the words. I would have never seen the words. And then I wouldn't have had the vocabulary for God to speak to me. So it still would have worked. I still could have been the Word. I mean, I still could have made it, but it would have taken a long time to teach me the vocabulary I needed to understand them. It would have taken me a long time to just get to what he meant by what the prophets are. You see what I mean? And so he used that religion to get me the vocabulary that I needed, not me. God needed. And so that's you know, going off the track a little there. But so that's how you know, Peter knew that. Peter knew, you know, a lot of things that were going to happen. He knew there was going to be deception ahead. You know, they because they spoke about those things. But whatever, they didn't have all the details, so they didn't know the dates. They didn't know that it was going to be 20 centuries later. They might have been thinking 200 or 300 years, not 20 centuries later. So those things are kept back from God. God didn't need them, even those saints, to know what I know. I know a lot more than what they know, because the end is here. So I have to prophesy it. So I have to, you know, I can talk more about it. I understand more, so I can tell people what's going on and what happened and why. You know, maybe they knew a lot that, you know, I know they knew a lot, but you know, when you don't get, it's like a painting. We get the basic painting. We just get like a rough draft, just some lines in it to begin with, when we first get sinless, and this understanding comes, this knowledge. So we just get a little bit, but every day it grows. Every day it grows. Every day it grows. Get more painting. You know, every time we write, every time we speak, it just gets more details filled in, and eventually we have a whole picture painted. So when I preach or talk, now I can just pick out a subject. I can go from any point on this painting and start talking. I don't need a process to get somewhere. I just go for it and just talk about it. I can go to any scriptures in the Bible. I don't need to have a story around it. I don't need to read all of it. I just need a few scriptures around it to see what context that it's in, and then I can tell you what's going on. And then I can rewrite the story. I don't need the scriptures. I just rewrite the story because I have the understanding to do that. So, stop here.